Hi everyone, welcome back to Asians Do Football. As you can tell, we are in different locations. We actually don't live near each other, so logistics can be a bit iffy at times, but we will try our best to record in person together as much as possible. So, to start the third episode, we're going to be talking about Manchester United, who finished third to me. I don't think a lot of people expected it, but how did they do it? What do you think of the season?
I'm gonna say two words for you, Julian. Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno, I'm
Uh,
telling you
ab-
now, sorry to cut you off. If without him, they would not have made top four.
he's been. I agree with you. He's been amazing.
Hmm.
Really, really good. I watched a few United games since the restart, and he's been really, really amazing. Like a 2-footed. He tries those things that other players don't try. And
Yeah,
it's just a joy to watch it. Obviously, it doesn't always come off, but he's so good that he does come off a lot of the times as well. It's just a joy to watch him. And I was quite cautious about this transfer. He put up brilliant numbers at Sporting Lisbon
hmm,
and lit up the Portuguese league, and there's no arguments there. But Man United have always have in the recent past have bought a lot of players that have been doing good numbers and playing generally well. I think one example for what people remember is Di Maria
yeah,
played amazingly from Madrid, playing centre mid actually for them, and got man of the match in the Champions League final as well. And on paper, that looks like amazing. Like United signing this should work, but unfortunately, it didn't work, and he's gone on to do things at PSG. And I thought Bruno Fernandes might be in there, so I was quietly cautious. But I think Man United fans will be very happy because that wasn't the case. He's hit the ground running. He's changed the dynamic of the team. He's their De Bruyne, and I don't mean that in
exactly. Yeah.
quality. De Bruyne is better, but Bruno Fernandes is the function he plays in that team is just like is the De Bruyne role, and he does everything. He's tracking back as well. It's like
Hmm.
he's doing everything. He must be, and you can tell towards the end because he does so much running. He does get a bit tired, especially since the restart. So many games are so close together. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes.
That's the
Yeah,
thing, isn't it? Like, it's not just. I mean, I've got his stats here. He's got 8 goals and 7 assists in 14 games, but it's just general play, how he's making his teammates click. Everyone is just playing so much better, and that final push they had at the end of the season, I guess deservingly they made the top three and into the Champions League. The thing that clicked a lot, especially after restart, was their front three. No thanks to Bruno Fernandes behind him, obviously. I want to put a question to you. I guess how many goals and assists the front three of Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood had together?
this is like a little quiz, in the video. Julian always
I'm
comes
trying to
with the
switch it
stats.
up, man.
I know they did better than the Liverpool front three in terms of output. So that was like 50 or something. So I'm gonna guess about 70. Just add assist to it, I
Come on,
guess.
Samir. Come on. Put some respect on their name. They had 91 goals and assists combined.
91.
91, yeah, 91.
I'm actually really surprised at that. I know they did well, but
Yeah, Greenwood
91.
himself had 19 goals. He only turned 18 in October, but he's been a revelation. Martial, there's been stick with him from people, but they paid that money at the start when they signed him for a reason, and he's hopefully for United fans he's showing that potential now. And Rashford again had an excellent season. So them three next season will be very, very dangerous.
You know, it's they're so scary at the front three, like just those three, and they got so many options.
Hmm.
Greenwood is 2-footed, like what a great talent he is. Got Rashford, who's not initially was a striker, obviously, but he's popped up on the left wing with a lot of these teams adopting the 4-3-3 formation now, or that a variant of that. And
Hmm.
Rashford has become like a bit more assisty rather than scoring the goals. But
Yeah,
obviously, we know the talents, then he can score a goal as well and stuff. But yeah, good credit to those front three, like just clicked. And yeah, and Greenwood is like, he's looking exciting actually for these ages and the numbers you
yeah.
said. Yeah.
As a obviously
I'm
as
gonna
an
touch on.
England, sorry, Samir.
No, no, go, England fan.
Yeah, as an England fan, I'm very excited. England have so much talent coming through. Obviously, another player, Wan-Bissaka, right back for United. Brandon Williams came
Exactly.
through. When Luke Shaw was injured, and he's actually right-footed, but he plays on the left.
Yeah.
There's a bit of like a Philip Lahm situation going on there. But yeah, United's looking exciting. Sorry, what were you just gonna say before I cut you off?
I was just talking. I was going to talk about some other players that did well as well, and but you touched on some great players there as well.
Yeah.
I just want to mention Fred. I think
Hmm.
he had a lot of stick initially when he joined United, and I think rightly so, to be fair. But I think he's turned the corner and he's playing to his level. And I know he's not getting assists and goals, but his level is transition play
Yeah.
and picking up the ball from defense and doing that role. And I think he's done that well, and he's had some better games, obviously, but he's hitting his average a bit more in his performances rather than being below average, which is really good. I
Yeah.
think still one thing he struggles with is when he takes the ball off the defenders and transitions it forward. He's a
Hmm.
bit slow and takes too many touches, and that puts Man United in trouble sometimes. So that's something he's got to work on. But I just want to give him a bit of credit. Also, touching the midfield, we mentioned how good Bruno Fernandes is, and Pogba is an interesting fact now because they've created that foundation in midfield. And I think that midfield is now settled. I think there's a bit of a problem there, actually. I know it doesn't look obvious, but I want to see what you think about this, Julian.
Yeah.
So Pogba's performing at maybe a bit of a deeper role, slightly deeper and a bit less free, and he's been given some instructions that make sure that he doesn't go too forward. So obviously, he still gets involved to a certain degree, but I think Pogba is content with that at the moment because he hasn't been performing great generally, so he will take it on. But I think if Man United continue to be successful and he's not getting the assists and the goals and the pre-assists and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
he's not being able to go forward and express himself, I think he will get frustrated. And there's could be a potential for him leaving. Then I don't know what you think of that because Bruno Fernandes is taking his role, kind of, if that makes sense.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it, with Pogba? He wants to be that guy to join the attack and chip in with goals and maybe play that final pass and get an assist. But I don't know. There's no rumors of him leaving or anything like that. Neither is there rumors of him signing a new deal. I'm not too sure when his current deal runs out, but I think he should be content and happy now that he's in a winning team basically, and they're on a really good form. They still might win
Mm.
the Europa League. So yeah, future's bright for United. It seems like anyway. If they can add a few names, who knows? One of the big names that they linked with Sameer, as you know, Jadon Sancho, another exciting England prospect. He's actually joined the training camp of Dortmund, and there's rumors now saying that he's happy. There's a bunch of Dortmund players coming out saying, we're so happy that he's staying. Is it a bluff? What is it? Dortmund playing games? What's happening there, Samir?
Uh, I think there's a bit of bluff. I think Dortmund are right to do what they're trying to do. First of all, Sancho is an amazing player. I'll put him up there with the Mbappe's. Maybe not. Yeah, I actually would. I was going to say maybe not that high up, but I would. I think he's one of the best young players in the world. And
Hundred
for Man
percent.
United to give him would be a yeah, for Man United to give him would be a real statement. It's a bit of a shame because he would naturally take Greenwood's spot, and maybe Greenwood plays less. But we'll see. We'll talk about that when that actually happens, and if Sancho does sign. But yeah, I think it's a bluff. If you offer Dortmund 120 million today, I
They'll
think
take
they'll
it.
say yes and take
Yeah.
it. And Sancho will try and push it through himself. But Sancho's doing the right thing. They played a friendly yesterday. He's playing and he's just getting on with his job and letting the team sort out his future. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, it's a frightening prospect. I do think it will happen actually.
It's
Yeah, them
scary.
three running at you, Rashford, Martial, Sancho, that pace. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
If they get
One,
him, it's gonna be crazy scary for the
I
defense
know.
next season.
What was his numbers actually? Do you have his numbers? I know you love a stat.
20 goals and 20 assists.
There you go. Full goal outputs
Yeah,
or goal involvements, I should say.
and he's
Sorry.
only 20.
Uh,
He's only 20 years
and
old.
you're adding that to 40. I know it doesn't work directly like that, but you know what I mean. Like he's gonna get
That's over
good numbers
100
again. Yeah,
plus
he'll.
goals. Yeah,
I think he's gonna set the Premier League light. And obviously, I'm not a United fan, but it'd be exciting to see anyway as a
yeah.
football fan. Another thing to touch on, Julian, is the goalkeeper situation. I know this is not a new signing, but Henderson's coming back from loan at Sheffield United.
Hmm.
What's your opinion? Does he deserve a chance? What should happen with De Gea, etc.?
I think he deserves a chance in United's, first 11. De Gea, he's made 3 mistakes leading to goals in the Premier League. Not to mention the other 2 in the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea. At one point he was probably the best keeper in the world. at one point
Yeah,
in
he was.
his
He was.
career, and this just decline in I don't know, not even form. It's just it's I don't know where it's come from.
I don't. I was talking to a United fan about this, and I think we came to the conclusion as the two that I think everyone just needs a new start. De Gea needs a new start. Man United need a new start.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem is that I don't know who wants De Gea, and I don't mean that in terms of quality. I just don't think anyone needs a keeper, and he'll be an expensive keeper at that as well. But I agree with you. I think it's time for everyone to move on, and Henderson should get his chance.
Mm-hmm.
Another position that I'm looking at for United is like I'm a Man United scout out here, a centre back. So before we get into that, I just want to touch on Maguire quickly. So I think Man United's intention with buying Maguire was to be like that's their Van Dijk. And again, I don't mean the quality of Van Dijk. We know Van Dijk's better. I mean the effect it has on the team.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, I think it has had that effect, and I think the numbers back that up. But I just don't think he's as good as it is being suggested. And I think it's a bit of an English bias there. And I'm not talking about this with Man United. I mean, his Leicester time, I didn't really see like not fascination. I can see he's a good defender, but I couldn't see like he's not that good. And maybe he'll prove me wrong next season. But yeah, I'm a bit. Julian knows my feelings on Maguire, and it's I mean, speak glowingly about him. I think it's just chuck the ball in behind him, and you're not going to get away from him because his lack of pace. But obviously, I think Man United, rightly so, spend their money and they're going to keep him, and they just need a partner for him now. Now I like Lindelof, but I think because Maguire hasn't had that effect that I think Man United should expect from him, they need someone a bit better than Lindelof because they just he needs a bit more support back there. And I know one name that's been mentioned is Gabriel from
Lille.
Yeah. Arsenal have been hunting that, and apparently it's in his court now. Everyone's made the same bid. Lille have to accept bid. It just depends who he wants to join. If he rumors to be believed, but that sounds like a player that could help support, and he has a bit more. He has pace on him as well as a centre back. But yeah, Gene, what do you think about the Maguire centre back situation at Man United?
I mean, the defense has been better this season. There have been times when Maguire's looked very vulnerable, especially. I don't know. It's just like his turn is not as quick as it can and should be for a top defender. Obviously, he's £80 million. You'd expect something better, right? You shouldn't be getting beaten so easily. But yeah, I think that's a position they have to look at. Gabriel would be an amazing signing because he's left-footed as well. He can play on that left-hand side. Although Maguire that's his preferred left-hand.
Yeah, that's his preferred side, isn't it? Even for England, when he played in the three, he played on the left-hand side.
So they have been linked with a couple of players, but we'll see, guys. I guess the main story now is Sancho. I think they want to wrap that up as soon as possible, and then they'll start looking at other positions. But yeah,
I think the future is bright. Like Greenwood, Martial, Rashford, Sancho. You've got Bruno Fernandes doing well behind them as well. The future looks bright, and I think Man United fans are looking forward to some stability and not worrying about what's happening next, and they can just enjoy and hope see their team grow now.
Yeah.
I think that's it from me on Man United. Julian, have you got anything else to add before we close the video?
No, just Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the best manager in the world, isn't it? Let's see how he does. Let's see how he does in the Europa League to close the season. Let's see how he does in the Champions League next season and in the league. If they get the players they want and need, then it's going to be very exciting for them. But that wraps up the episode, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't already, check out our 2 previous videos on Manchester City and Liverpool. And until next time, take care.